Did you know that the French measured Napoleon at 5'2"? But when they did this, the French inch was actually smaller than the American inch, and Napoleon was actually average height. Stick around tonight, Rolling with the Beard. We're reviewing Trekking Through History. Trekking Through History is a card drafting game for 2 to 4 players, taking roughly 30 to 60 minutes, usually closer to the 30-minute mark, depending on the player count. Here we have the table set up for a 3-player game. On their turn, players will choose one of the cards available on this beautiful neoprene mat. They will then pay the time cost that is on the card, in this case 3, 1, 2, 3. They will take the resource that is on the bottom of the card and the resource that was on the bottom of the mat. They will then add those to their itinerary. Hopefully they can complete one of these horizontal lines to get points, or cover up one of these spaces here to get extra things such as points in these crystals, which these crystals come in handy because you can use them to get a discount on the time cost. And you only have 12 time per round before the round resets, and the player who is the furthest behind on the time clock gets to take the next turn. So if you play your cards right and your crystals right, you can sometimes get multiple turns in a row. Well, back to that card that you took, you add that to your track, hopefully in ascending order, because the longer the track you can make, the more points you get. So here I got 4 cards in this track that would give me 4 points. Now, had I have taken a card that fell out of the time continuum here, this one, it's a BC, so that would not fall in ascending order on the bottom of this track here. So I'd have to close out this track with 3 cards in it, only gaining 2 points, and start a new track. And then all the cards shift down to the left, you put a new one, and then now it will be the red player's turn. And play continues like this until all the clocks get all the way around, and then you clear the mat of the day 1 cards, shuffle the day 2 cards, put them out, rinse and repeat. You play 3 days or rounds, and the player with the most points at the end is the winner. So, in a bizarre twist, I'm going to start this review off with a negative thing. Does this game do anything extraordinarily new? No, it doesn't. But what it does do, it does it just as good, if not probably better than any other game on the market right now. There are so many wonderful things about this game. It's easy to teach. It's fast. There's very little downtime between turns. It's immensely fun. The art is fantastic. There are over 100 cards, I believe, and each one of them has different art on it, along with, you flip it over on the back and you can learn all kinds of fantastic facts while you're waiting on your turn, which again isn't very long, but the game secretly teaches you things. It's kind of bizarre. Anywho, the components are fantastic. The player mat is awesome. It's a good quality. All the cards are a good quality. They have a nice linen finish. However, they don't shuffle quite as well as I would have thought they would, but it comes with 4 player aids. I don't know why every game doesn't come with enough player aids, 1 for each player. The rules are clear. There's plenty of those itinerary cards just to kind of shuffle up and keep it fresh every time you play it. There's even an additional deck of cards called Time Warp cards, and it just adds a little more spice to the game when you're playing it. There's even a sheet that shows all the cards that exist in each of the days, so you know you can take a glance at that and see, well, I'm trying to find a card that doesn't even exist, so time to wrap up that track and keep on going. There's enough player interaction in this game too to kind of keep a little bit of turn angst going. You know, you're watching the other players select cards, hoping they don't pick the ones that you want. And on top of that though, you may wait for a card to maybe slide further down on the mat to get on top of some of the resources that you really need. So, you know, you can kind of get a double whammy there. Also, spending less time to get multiple turns in a row is very good. You know, you get those crystals, maybe you burn a couple crystals to only advance 1 or 2 spaces on the time track to get another turn in a row to snag a card that maybe an opponent needs. There's a lot more depth to the game than you might think there is at first. With more plays, it starts to blossom and unfold, and it has enough player interaction, like I said, to make it interesting and to keep players coming back. Just it's an overall great value. I think you can sometimes pick it up on Amazon on sale for maybe $30, and dollar for dollar, there's not many what I would call maybe gateway games that look this good, teach this easy, and keep players engaged as much as this one. It is definitely a must-have, a must-buy. Check it out, staying in the Beards collection. And if you found this episode entertaining or informative at all, please consider clicking that subscribe button and leave a comment down below on what game you think I should cover next. Thanks again for watching another episode of Rolling with the Beard.